pulled out his own Atari. I said sorry, I'ma have to pass like Nash to Amari. Tiger up early on a Sunday, sinking birdies while the pigskin spinning through the air, tight and birdie. It's a TD, it's a TKO, a home run, it's a hat trick. Ain't no way to be an all-star without practice. So if you down to sacrifice your life for a draft pick, it's a pretty sweet position you can live in if you have some things in the air. If you got game, waving like you just don't care. If you got game, playing like you got no fit, and you got game. If you came here to win, yeah, you got game.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Local Music Somewhere from rBeatz.com. I'm your host, Greazy Keyz. I am absolutely over the moon, thrilled, excited to have in the studio today Miss Persona Bell. Welcome to rBeatz, Persona.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today.
We're thrilled to have you. Thank you so much for all that you do, and we're just thrilled to have you here and to highlight you and your music and things that are going on and things that are coming up for you. But give us a little bit of background about yourself here with music and kind of where your roots started.
Sure. So I am originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Very nice.
I came to Charlotte in about 2012. But I started studying classical piano when I was 10. And I love sharing the story about my grandmother who asked me like, hey, do you want to learn piano? Do you want to take piano lessons? And I said, yeah. But I didn't know anything about piano. Right. I just said yeah because I loved my grandma.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I started taking lessons, and like with most students, at first it's like uphill. You're not practicing, and all the adults in your life are like, "You got to practice."
Yeah.
So eventually, I fell in love with it.
Right. No. What was that spark then? What was the transition for you personally? Because I know as a private teacher, and you probably deal with this too. You have kids who start out, and they do sort of peter out after a while. So what was that pivotal point for you?
I think for me, there was a moment when I realized like, oh, if I actually practice what I'm supposed to, then I can play these sounds that my teacher's playing that I want to play.
Okay.
So like realizing like if I put in the time, then I can make these sounds that I really like.
Right.
And then getting that that satisfaction, right? Like, oh, that sounds so cool. And then like wanting to do it again so that I can play it, the way it's supposed to sound each time.
Yes.
And I can't say exactly when that happened, but I know that was a moment for me, like, oh, if I do this, then I can do this, and I can, because I really looked up to my teacher as well.
Right.
Like, I really wanted to
That's awesome.
play like her.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Very
so
cool.
I had a really great experience with my instructor. And I was with her for 11 years. So my grandmother paid for all of my lessons for 11 years, every week, every Saturday. And that's where I started.
On Saturdays too.
It is. Yeah. And especially for my family, like I have 4 brothers and a sister, and all my brothers were in sports. Wow. So it was like Saturday was really busy.
Yes.
I'm doing piano. My brothers somebody's doing soccer, somebody's doing football, somebody's doing something. So my parents were running around like crazy for sure.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But that's where I started. And then I continued on. I went to St. Olaf College and studied classical piano and voice while I was there.
Fantastic.
I got into their music program. I auditioned with Chopin Nocturne and Debussy Dr. Gratis ad Parnassum. And while I was there, I started tapping into my voice, my singing voice. And so long story short, I eventually figured out, oh, maybe I can do these together. And that's been my journey kind of since then. Like, how can I put these together in a way that I really love?
So when you're at St. Olaf, you in the choir, you actually got to travel quite a bit then, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
I traveled everywhere. And we have like journals and stuff where we talk about where we're going. And it was very interactive. We had it all planned out, the tour. The school was very involved and very supportive. And so we got to play at Carnegie Hall, Disney Hall, the White House.
Wow.
We did the Special Day of Prayer. Is that what it's called? We also traveled to Norway. So yeah, we got to go a lot of really cool places.
Right on. So you graduated with a degree in classical piano? And
I didn't.
okay.
So I ended up changing it a bunch of times. I was like, yo, this isn't quite working the way I thought.
Right.
You know, because my dream was like, I want to be a concert pianist.
Right.
You know, it didn't quite happen. And I was kind of sour about that.
Sure.
But, you know, I come from a family, like my father always told me, no matter what, finish what you're doing. No matter what, just keep going. Finish what you're doing. So even though I couldn't finish the music program the way that I wanted, I was like, I will graduate, you know, so I changed it. I changed my major to Spanish. And then I didn't like the Spanish program. And I was like, I'm going to change it again.
Right.
So I changed it to education. And then I changed it to English. So I finished it. I got my degree in English, and now I perform music for a living.
And that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how the journey goes, though, right?
Yeah.
I love that. So, when you moved to Charlotte in 2012, was music your focus?
Not quite. I kind of moved around. I'd gone to China after college and to teach English. And then when I came back to Minneapolis, Minnesota, I was like, I don't think I want to stay here. So I went to Atlanta, didn't work out. I went back. Then my family moved here to Charlotte, and I came to visit a few times, and I really enjoyed it. So I came back and I moved. When I got here, I got into, I think I started at Bank of America. Oh, no. I was at Music and Arts.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of was, but like not in performing in terms of music.
Right.
So I was
music
working.
Retail can be a completely different world.
It was, yeah.
Yes. You think you're in music. No, retail is still retail.
Yeah.
I know
I'm still
that
just
journey.
selling books.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I did at first. And then I started banking. I was working at Bank of America for a few years. And I kept feeling like I was getting called back to music. And so finally I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow, and I'm gonna see where music takes me.
Right on.
I definitely met a lot of musicians that I'm still friends with now at Music and Arts.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing. You know, and I've had the pleasure of knowing you for several years now. And I gotta say, you're just been very tenacious and like I said, and now talking with you, I can see, you know, you're very goal driven. Like I said, you finished something that you started, and just to see you grow into, I consider you one of our community's powerhouses, vocally and playing the piano as a band leader. I mean, you have really just grown into such an integral part of our community that I just love to see you blossoming and flowering and just doing all the things, you know, even though it's been a challenge and not the road that you would have envisioned for yourself. But it's just so cool to see you still doing it, and probably doing it better than anyone else around. So congratulations.
Well, I appreciate that so much.
That means that's for real.
Yeah, I thank you so much. It has been a journey, and I definitely am goal driven. And what I realized for myself is that when things don't go as planned, one of the worst things you can do is let it get you down. And so I just something happens, I just handle it, drop it, and move on to the next, you know, because that's, I don't know, I just feel like it's a waste of time and a waste of energy. I'm like, let's be positive. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, what's next? Okay. Here we go.
That's great.
You know, that's kind of how I do things.
I love that. So in your experience as a working musician today, what's one thing that you wish people would understand better about it? People understand better about being a working musician.
That is a great question. One thing? I can only say one thing?
Only one.
Okay.
No, you can ramble. Let's hear it.
Okay. So when you say people, I wish people would understand, like anybody, any musicians, or just anyone in general?
Probably more generalized.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
All right. I guess I would say that when you see a musician doing their thing, you know, whether it's at a local bar or an event, a sporting event, or on a huge stage, a concert stage, outside, you know, that there's so much more that goes into that final product that you're seeing, right? It's not that we just know all these songs and we just get up there and start playing. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and not just musically, right? So there is, a lot of us have to wear a lot of hats. We have to be our manager. We have to be our promoter. We have to be, I don't know what it's called, but
content creator.
Yes. We have to be like, we have to do all these other things. And on top of that, we have to get on stage and perform and then tap into the whole reason why we're doing it in the first place, because we love it.
Yes.
And we want to share that love that we have with everyone else. So I guess just being aware that we're doing a lot, you know, and being able to see that and appreciate that for what it is, I guess.
I love that. Yeah. When you talk about your preparedness, what's something that you maybe over prepare for, yet still goes off script every time?
Ooh. Okay. Audience engagement during my shows.
That's a good one. That's a good answer.
I'll be like, oh, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, hello, everybody. All right, you know, whatever I plan. And then during the show, I'm just like rambling, talking about random stuff. And when I go back and I watch the material, I'm like, But usually it goes pretty well because I'm just being myself, you know, as long as I'm not like trying to, you know, be something else. As long as I'm being honest, it usually goes over pretty well, whatever I'm saying.
That is a great answer.
Yeah.
You know, the banter. That's one thing that musicians don't really think about. Dead air. You know, you want to try to prevent those moments in your show. Yeah. And prepare for those. But, you know, things come up, ideas pop up, things just, you know, audience members start talking. Who knows? So that is a great answer. I love that. So you have kind of also developed, again, like, your vocal is strong, and you do not only writing music, performing music, events. You've gotten into singing the national anthem for all of the major sports teams in town, right? You've done it for the Panthers, the Hornets, the Checkers. Anybody that I'm missing?
The Bulldogs.
There you go.
I'm probably going to forget some too. Let's see. You just said the major three. Yeah. I've done it for private events too.
Yes.
That's when I was asked to sing "O Canada." It was for a private event.
Yes.
That's all I can think of right now.
I love that. Yes, and not only it's the national anthem, but "O Canada," which, you know, I called on you to help out the Checkers for their final Calder Cup run, and you came in and sang "O Canada" for us 3 times in a row, and just slayed it every time. So. Just way to go. Just what a true professional. Because, you know, "O Canada," like, who knows the word "So Canada" in America? Like, who there, you know. Yeah. But you know, you just made it your own and just absolutely killed it. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's awesome. But let me ask you this. What is your most chaotic moment from singing the national anthem?
Oh, I have the perfect answer. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys ready? All right. So this was probably 3 years ago. I was singing at the Spectrum Center on a pretty regular basis during their pregame and intermission.
Yeah.
And I would bring my keyboard in and I would play and sing. I did like a 45-minute set, I think. And for one of the games, they also wanted me to sing the national anthem. So I did the pregame. I sang and played. Then I ran downstairs and I sang the national anthem. And then after that, I left and I went to Bank of America to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing for the Clemson, their finals.
Right. Some Orange Bowl or some kind of bowl or something like that.
It was like
Belk Bowl
50,000 people.
Wow.
And I don't think I had a sound check or anything. Like we drove. My friend picked me up from Spectrum because I was talking to everybody about the logistics. Like, okay, am I going to be able to make it there in time? And so my friend picked me up from Spectrum, left my car there, left all my stuff there. And we're driving in bumper to bumper traffic from Spectrum to Bank of America. It's not that far.
I'm going to say you could walk probably, but...
Yeah, but it took forever. And like, we're just like, oh my God, I don't even make it. So I get there, he drops me off, and then it was the wrong entrance. So I'm like running around the side. I was like running around the side of the building. I get there, and then everything's like calm. I was like, okay,
Wow.
this is, and then of course, then the nerves for actually singing,
Yes.
come into play. But I think just that transition was really tight for me.
Wow.
And feeling like I was having to wear different hats for
Yeah.
each thing, because I
Yeah.
kind of was.
Yes.
I sang my own set of covers and originals. Then I sang the national anthem, and then I sang Lift Every Voice
Yes.
in front of 50,000, 8,000, how many ever it was.
Yes.
The biggest crowd I've sung in front of. Yeah.
Amazing.
Alone.
And again, that just shows your true professionalism and that you are a lifer when it comes to music. You'll double up them gigs.
I will. Just let me know and see how we can work it out.
Yes, I love that. That is
Yeah.
just speaks to your character and then to deliver as well. It's just that's so amazing. That is a great answer. Thank you
Oh,
for
but wait.
sharing that.
So the
Yes.
thing was.
Okay.
So this is the ultimate thing.
All right, most chaotic.
Right, is when I got on the green to sing, lift every voice and sing, there was an echo. There literally was an echo every word, and I was having to block that out. It was so wild,
Yeah.
and it was so heavy, so deep. And when they sent me, I always asked for the recording.
Sure.
They sent me the recording. You couldn't hear an echo, but there was it would cut out every 2-3 seconds. It would be lift every voice and sing.
Oh no! So the mic was cutting out, or is it just the effect from the echo maybe messing with you, or
Maybe,
something? Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But, people recorded it
Sure.
in live time, so that
Yeah.
sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
But the live recorded,
The board mix,
Yeah,
or they
the board
call
mix
it.
was
Yeah.
bad. So bad.
Just throw that away.
Yeah, that's not
what-
usable. Yeah,
right.
absolutely
But
not.
what an incredible memory to share. That is crazy. Wow. Way to go, though. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about something you got coming up. You
Yeah.
have this incredible show you've put together. Tell us about it.
Okay, so as a female singer and pianist, I've kind of fallen into this role of doing Alicia Keys songs, which, it's not a bad thing. But it definitely, I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't like, I'm going to do Alicia Keys,
Right.
But as I've gone along and learned kind of more of her songs, I'm like, it does kind of fit really well. So I decided that I was going to do a show
Right on.
to tribute, what she's contributed to our music industry. I mean, people love Alicia Keys. So I booked the Stage Door at the Blumenthal for July 11th, and I booked an entire band
Yes.
of dope musicians.
You get the best guys.
Every time I try to get you all the time, man, but you're always busy.
I'm busy, but I always enjoy anything that you post, video with the band backing you up. I'm just like, wow. Or I just happen to come up and see you play. You always have the best cats behind you. So way to go.
I try, man.
Yeah.
I try. Because, I want the music to be,
Yeah.
So we got an awesome lineup of musicians. I've got one of my students is coming on to sing. I'm so excited to have her, Charlotte Marie.
Nice.
I'm going to be featuring a friend of mine who plays violin, phenomenal violinist. His name is Claude Narr. And I'm also going to have Brandon Stevens on to do a duet with me.
Awesome.
So in addition to my phenomenal musicians, I'm featuring some more other musicians.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to share what we're working on.
I love that.
Yeah.
So not only Alicia Keys, but I've heard you absolutely slay, like Whitney Houston and some other artists. Haven't you done other kind of tribute shows for other artists as well?
Yeah, I have. I did Whitney. I want to say, did I do it twice?
All right.
I definitely did Whitney.
Yeah.
Whew, that is a hard show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I loved it. I did that with Sean Higgins. I had him help me arrange that.
Yes.
Because it was intense. And I went on severe vocal rest, no drinking, no anything for at least a month beforehand. Because
Wow.
it just takes so much to sing her songs.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, do it right. So I did that. And I did Beyonce. I did a Beyonce
Wow.
tribute show that was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
At Middle C. We called it Dangerously in Jazz, because it wasn't just straight up covers. We
Right.
flipped them
Nice.
and we mixed some of the songs with jazz vibe. So Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super dope.
Do you draw a lot of inspiration in your own original music from these other artists, or do you see it as just another outlet? Because, obviously tributes have become a huge market.
Yeah.
Do you see it yourself as being more of using it to raise your own platform, or just inspire your own original music? What's your approach with that?
That's a great question. I don't think that I am consciously inspired.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when I sit down and I play, I just I don't know, I just hear the sounds that I'm used to hearing, whatever I'm kind of listening to a lot of, or if it intentionally when I write, it's usually a topic that I want to cover. So the song I'm going to do today, Don't Be Afraid, it definitely was very intentional. Okay, I want to write a song that is inspirational.
Right.
I
love that.
And then just kind of choosing a vibe. Do I want to start with a classical vibe? And then where do I go from there?
Right.
And I do think that my style of singing is very inspired by Whitney Houston, for sure. Because I just kind of studied her a lot. A lot.
Well, you have it. You belt it, and you are just, oh man, when I hear you sing, I know Whitney is just smiling down at you, because you slay it. I love it so much. But when you talk about the songs that you play in your set, which song in your set feels like your own personal anthem that really inspires you?
Of other people's songs?
Sure.
Of cover songs?
Yeah.
So there are... I really love Letussee, and she was just here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she still here?
I don't know.
I know she was here the day after I sang at Bojangles. Because one of the security guards was telling me, he was like, Lettussee's here tomorrow. And I was like, okay. I was like, yes, I love her. I've seen her before.
That's funny.
But she has a number of songs that I find very inspirational. And I haven't been able to find that groove that she gets, though.
Interesting.
And so I kind of been shopping around to see if I can find a producer who can help me make something, create something. But actually, when I first moved here, I discovered her song Shine. And so if you haven't heard that, anybody who's listening, Shine is a phenomenal song. And I listened to that probably 1,500 times. I don't know. Just awesome. Over and over and over.
I love that.
But I never cover it.
Right.
And I don't know why.
Well, I was going to say, is there a song that makes you nervous every time?
Well, when I sing with the King Daddy Band, they usually want me to do Whitney Houston. Is it Run to You? Is it Run? I think so. They want me to do one of her ballads, and I'm always like, okay, let me review this before.
Yeah.
Because that song is big, and they're just they want to feature me, and I love them for that.
Yeah.
And, and I want to make sure I do it right. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Persona, we're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsor. We're going to come back and have you perform one of your original songs today, and I'm thrilled to hear it. So give us about 2 minutes. We'll be back with Persona Bell in the rBeatz studio. Peace. How's it going, fam? This is Greazy Keyz coming at you from the rBeatz studio with my own watch list, dropping on the all-new ROQ CLT radio for our global and national look at hashtag local music somewhere. Starting off with Chantel Palm, all the way from South Africa with their song, Goodbye. From the United Kingdom, Mr. Nick with their song, Find Your Peace. From LZN Atenzia, we have LCN with Lovers in Space. From right here in the USA, we have Robbie Adams with his song, Ecstasy Hotline. And Molly Moore with her song, Jameson. On the 25/8 366 Global radio stream, we have Miss Crystal with their tune, Say To Me, the Ashby remix. And on the We Global radio stream, we have Mr. Moda with Hotbox, parentheses, Texas. Now, for our own hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina, we have some featured artists with brand new releases, starting with Fat Waffle with their tune, Choose Myself. My man, Nathan Harris, with his jam, Russian. the incredible Diore with her song Bad Thing. Very creative songwriter Ailey Edwards with his song Carolina Blue. Family Video Band with their tune Continental Drift. And my homeboys, $1,000 Movie with their song Block Out the Sun. Be sure to check out all these streams and their beautiful music. This has been Greazy Keyz with the rbeatz.com watch list, streaming from the ROCCLT. Watch out for all the new music in your local area coming soon. Peace.
By the side of the road, I passed this tree. It seemed betrayed. It felt bereft. Put down your load and sing with me. I did. I stayed and never left. The tree said, look into my eyes and we will harmonize. The tree said, listen to my leaves rustle. Together let's do the hustle. The tree said, how about you breathe in and I'll breathe out. Ooh, you breathe in and I'll breathe out. The tree said, look into my eyes and we will harmonize. The tree said, listen to my leaves rustle. Together let's do the hustle. The tree said, how about you breathe in and I'll breathe out. Ooh, you breathe in and I'll breathe out. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Welcome to the age of virtually unlimited access to film, television, and music video content. We enjoy media anywhere, anytime, delivered on web TVs, laptops, to tablets and smartphones. It's almost perfect. Introducing the next evolution of popular culture, Popology. An innovative media utility that consolidates all of your online memberships and subscriptions into a single powerhouse of infinite creative opportunities. Deploy customized micro-broadcasts to your choice of social networking platforms. Generate a fan base for your curated and self-created media. And earn rewards by selecting the brand commercials relevant to your life from within your personal micro-broadcast. Popology is your outlet to express your study and science of popular culture.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Access on your terms. You design your whole experience. This is Popology, the only place to exchange a micro-broadcast, chat about entertainment and popular culture, or simply watch infinite streaming content with others across the globe. One easy-to-use application to select and enjoy films, television, music, and so much more.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Popology is the portal to experience and utilize unlimited content and share it with your social networks.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Popology is all about customization and your story. Set up your inner pop sphere to organize content your way. Easily integrate other pop spheres within yours, for you and your audience.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's only the beginning. Be more than a passive consumer of entertainment. You are a popologist.
You talking to me?
Learn and earn a Popology U production certification from the most creative minds in the entertainment business and pop culture.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Explore becoming an expert on mass appeal. This is the future. See, think, do. And entertainment and science will never be the same. Popology. Go ahead.
Welcome back to Local Music Somewhere, rbeatz.com. I'm your host, Greazy Keyz. We've had Persona Bell in the studio with us. Persona, you're going to play one of your incredibly beautiful original songs for us now. Tell us a little bit about it and let it rip.
Okay. So this is my song. It's called Don't Be Afraid.
Yeah.
I wrote it over 10 years ago.
Wow.
I think I got it to a nice place where it sounds pretty good. And I hope you like it. It's called Don't Be Afraid. And yeah, just listen to the words and I hope you enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Many things in life that we go around trying to avoid consequences of the actions that we take. Our lives are full of all the rules and all the rhyme. What the people up above us try to tell us we should do, should do. They'll tell us what we should do, should do. So could the fear of failing be worse than knowing you never tried and let those dreams die deep inside? As part of you they die there too. The fear of knowing you had desires inside of your heart increase the chance someone tears it apart. So you hide away, away from the fear, the fear, the fear. But don't be afraid. 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 No. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You gotta take a chance even if you don't know what it leads. Only when you find what's in store behind each door is to try. Let it go, believe in what you feel. Life ain't just a game of truth. The day you'll find out what they want you to do, you'll find out what they want you to do. So could the fear of failing be worse than knowing you never tried and let those dreams die deep inside? As part of you they die there too. The fear of knowing you had desires inside of your heart increase the chance someone tears it apart. So you hide away, away from the fear, the fear, the fear. But don't be afraid. 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 No. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So don't be scared when you're all alone out in the world. Think of all the possibilities instead of sitting doing nothing, crying to yourself, sitting doing nothing, dying. The whole wide world is waiting for your dreams, flourishing the things new and unbelievable. Let it go, let it go. So don't be afraid. No, be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. No, 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 don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Wow, fantastic. Absolute goosebumps over here for someone. What a beautiful song. And we're so thrilled that you were able to perform that for us here live in the studio. You can actually stream that song now currently, Don't Be Afraid, and your song Chin Up on the rBeatz Vessel radio station. But man, what an experience to have that right here in the studio. Thank you so much for that. Incredible stuff. Very cool. Persona, where can folks find you?
You can find me everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I'm on Instagram probably the most.
Yeah.
So I'll post things on Instagram. And then, I have it auto-shared on Facebook.
Right.
I don't really use Twitter, but I am there in some capacity.
Yeah, I figured on that.
Yeah. Same thing with, what's the other one? TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
TikTok, I'm on there.
Yeah.
My younger sister kind of helped me start that up. She's like, you should do TikTok. And I was like,
Yeah, I feel the same way. Something about TikTok makes you go,
So I'm on there. There's a few performances on there.
Okay.
You can go to my website, www.personabell.com. And I have all my performances there. And I have some video, and I have some merch there too.
Yeah.
I'll have merch from my upcoming show available on there. But right now I have some vocal practice books. So
awesome.
If you're an aspiring vocalist and you just want to check it out before you sign up for the big deal, actually taking lessons, you can download these. It's like $20. And I kind of walk you through some warm-ups. And
so those are books you've developed on your own?
So they're recordings of me talking you through. They're not actual physical books.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I sat down and I played through the exercises, sang through them, and talked a little bit before each one on the recording. Like, this is how you're going to do it, and this is what it helps you do. And I do range from, bass to soprano as far as I could go.
Awesome. I love that. And also the element where you are incorporating students and give them opportunities to perform. I mean, that's rare. I mean, obviously, recitals and things like that are very common, but here you are actually giving students a real taste of performing in front of an audience, with these real world scenarios. And that is just amazing. What a gift.
Yeah. I think it's really important, especially if a student expresses interest in performing, that they get that experience. And recitals are great, and I did a ton of them as a student, believe me. But I also think that getting out there, is really important, and having that support from your instructor is huge. So we do open mics. We'll go to the Tosco Music open mic at Evening Muse.
On Mondays?
Monday. On Tuesdays. It's on Tuesdays.
Is it Tuesdays now?
The
Okay.
first Tuesday of
That's
the month.
good to know. Okay.
Yeah. And those are great. The last time we went, for the June one, it was slam packed.
Yeah.
It was standing room only. There was so many people.
Yeah.
But I love to do those types of things with them. And so, when I can, I try to bring them on board.
That's awesome. Well, Persona, we've just been so thrilled to have you in the studio today, just to share a little bit of your story and some of the things coming up. And we definitely want to keep you in the loop next time. Keep us abreast of what you got going on, and we'll always be happy to share, and hope to have you back in very soon whenever you get ready to release some more of your original music. I know you're going to have some singles coming out you talked about, and some different genres, a little, not only pop, but a little jazz.
Yeah.
All right, I love that.
Yeah.
Does your classical training ever come to play in your own songwriting?
It does.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, and don't be afraid, I started it out with just simple G minor arpeggios.
Yeah.
So that's something that we do a lot.
And you had a really cool, sound like a little modulation there. It was really nice.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. I think that because that's where I began my musical training, it's always going to be in there. I'm always going to add those flourishes, even if I don't even, it's not intentional thing.
Right.
It's
involuntary almost, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of built in. I love it. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming into rBeatz today. Again, we're just thrilled to have you, and wish you all the best. And we'll definitely look forward to seeing what you have next. So July 11th at the Stage Door at the Blumenthal.
Yes. It's a Friday night, 7:30 start time. And you can find the tickets on the Blumenthal website. You can find them on any of my social media. They're all pinned at the top. You can find them. And I'm gonna have t-shirts. Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Awesome.
I hope people can come out and, make it a priority in their day.
I know they will. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, this has been Greazy Keyz in the rBeatz studio, local music somewhere with Persona Bell. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day.
Yeah, 316. Got game and pulled out his own Atari. I said sorry, I'ma have to pass like Nash to Amari. Tiger up early on a Sunday, sinking birdies while the pigskin spinning through the air, tight and birdie. It's a TD, it's a TKO, a home run, it's a hat trick. Ain't no way to be an all-star without practice. So if you down to sacrifice your life for a draft pick, it's a pretty sweet position you can live in if you ask. Come on, them things in the air. If you got game, wiggle like you just don't care. If you got game, playing like you got no